Okay, everyone. So there's some pansies. You know what? Doesn't that just figure? Stop it. Sorry about that, people. They've been just quiet as church mice all morning until I hit the button. Very irritating. So, as usual, I'm just going to leave my picture up until I start seeing people pour in here, and then I'll take the picture down. And I just waiting. Some people are probably already getting ready to say some things in the chat. I'm hoping my chat is, I better make sure it's, hang on just a minute. I'm pretty sure I enabled the chat. Let me check here and make sure everything's working. Let's see. Hang on. Just hang with me, people. Okay, it's working. Great. I just wanted to make sure. Sorry. Sorry for the lag there. Yeah. Hello, T. Thanks for popping in. And I will just want to hang for a little bit. Hello, Oily. Thank you so much for coming in and helping us out. So as usual, I just like the idea of coming on 10-15 minutes early just to kind of gather myself to just hang for a bit and chill, sip on a little bit of tea, say hi to people as they're coming in. I try to disable my chat after the show, but sometimes I don't always remember to enable it again. So I had to double check. So that was what the pause was all about there. And hopefully the puppies will behave. Little stinkers. Okay, so anyway, what you're seeing right there, and I've shown this picture before, is my favorite time of the year salad, which has a little bit of everything from the garden. And that shows the pansies and the nasturtiums and the borage flowers. Plus, I've got dandelion leaves and probably some radicchio, some thyme, what else? Kale, so on and so forth. And just, you know, some standard butter crunch lettuce and all that. So, hello, Deborah, Sodbuster Living, Jen Bunny, Atik, Sullivan Family, and Grandma Cheap Cheap. Cheap Cheap. Okay, so I'm not as with it today as I'd like to be. You know, we're still going through some rough stuff, still a lot of big question marks right now, and which is causing some nights of little sleep. Most of the time I've been sleeping good, but the night before last I woke up at 2 a.m. and was up until about 10 last night, and I slept okay last night, so I'm not too bad, but I just feel like I'm sort of catching up on what I couldn't really get done, even though I was busy all day yesterday. I just wasn't as moving quite at, you know, Mach 5 speed or whatever it is that I normally am doing. I was moving a little slower, so didn't get as much done yesterday as I'd like. So just some catch up. Yes, pansies. Okay, well, I'll get to that. I want to get started too early because some people know I'm not supposed to start for at least another 10 minutes. Acquired some borage seed. Good. Okay, doggies. Grr. Get in your bed. Get in your bed, Luna. You know, it just figures. Get in that bed. Hang on. My squirt bottle isn't going to work very good if it's only on spray and not stream. Hang on. Gotta squirt the doggy. Get in that bed. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, people. This is so weird. Okay. Let me catch up on some comments here. There was something, okay, the borage. Now, I do have some videos that I put out last summer about that. I just started doing them, and you know, just before everything started dying off. I got one on nasturtiums, one on borage, one on feverfew and catnip combined. And maybe that was it. Maybe I only did the 3. I'm going to be redoing those videos this summer. I mean, well, maybe not summer, but as soon as those things are blooming, I'm going to one by one redo those videos and then add more to them, because I like to get out there in the garden so you can see it like in real life, quote unquote, what it looks like when it's in the middle of growing and just looking beautiful. And the other reason I need to redo them is, well, I'll explain that when I do the videos. But I do need to redo them anyway. But it'll be nice to have some fresh ones to put up, and along with the other ones I'll be putting up. Okay, good, Sodbuster. Yes, I just love them in salad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the picture off. I might, or at least turn my camera on. I might put the picture back up later for those that might want to see it that are coming in later. But then again, this show will go public on Saturday. That's the way I do it. I keep forgetting to tell people that beforehand. But yeah, so I do the shows on Wednesdays live and then post them as public on Saturdays. So as long as you gather the link to this and save it if you want to watch it later, you can always come back and watch it whenever between now and then, or you can wait till Saturday. So here, I'm turning the camera on, and well, I guess that didn't do any good because my salad is still covering me up. But that's okay. I'm not feeling very beautiful today. Not that I feel very beautiful any day, but yeah. Anyway, so hello everyone. Here's the real me. And yes, I'm just wearing a big old one of Patrick's sweatshirts. Big old baggy shirts. I love these comfy sweatshirts on a chilly day like today. You know, the video I put up yesterday was actually, what day did I do it? The 21st of April, I think it was. You know, a whole month after spring was officially supposed to have started. Finally got our first real spring day. It was warm, it was beautiful, and then it's just been cold and wet ever since then. So I'm glad we got out there and took advantage. Well, I did have a few hours the other day and was able to get something very cool done outside that I'll have a video coming out on soon, but I don't want to give it away. I mean, I think it's cool. You guys might think it's stupid. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading questions. I've already got questions coming in. Officially, I'm not supposed to start till 11, but I'm going to read this question because I can see it now. T asks, how long will my tincture store for? They are in beer bottles with a hard plastic swing top. Now, T, are those the vinegar based or the alcohol based? If they're alcohol based, it would be indefinite. If they're vinegar based, especially if it's homemade vinegar with the low acidic content, you know, you and I were talking about that earlier, and they say a month. I say in my experience, they last way longer than a month. I would say they can last up to 6 months, but you're going to want to keep your eye on them and check them. You may want to put, if they're vinegar based, put them in the refrigerator. I don't. I think if they're in the refrigerator, they'll last forever. I never refrigerate my vinegar. Though I will admit I've had a couple of batches of vinegar that I had made, some apple, that went bad. It ended up molding on top. It was great when I put it in there, and when I got to it months later, it was all moldy on top, so I tossed it. And there was no vinegar taste to it. I went ahead and tasted it because I'm weird that way. I'll just go ahead and try it, and there was no vinegar to it. I figured there wouldn't be if it was moldy on top, but I had to just taste it just out of curiosity. So get popcorn. Awesome. We love our popcorn around here, I tell you. It's pretty much our dinner 3 nights out of the week. On Pat's days off, we'll have I'll have dinner early in the day, and then we'll have popcorn for dinner. So the dinner early in the day, our supper, and then for dinner we have popcorn. Did I say that right? Whatever. There is a difference between dinner and supper. And somebody can explain it, I'm sure. Oh, you were just looking at my Facebook page. Cool. Okay. Oh, 80 proof spice rum. That That is like my favorite to make. It's expensive, but it's my favorite to make tinctures out of because it's tasty. It should last indefinitely, T. No need to refrigerate it. That's the great thing, and that's one of the things I want to talk about come to tinctures. And so I'll probably, since we're not officially at the start time yet, I want to come back to that topic later so that people that come in later can hear that. Very important. Just made some violet salve. It healed my cold sore. Awesome, Tessie. I have yet to try violet anything yet. Except for the candies I was talking about last week, and I forgot the name again. But I did find them, and they are still available to purchase. But boy, they're expensive. Of course, I don't remember what I paid for them back in the 70s, but oh, very cool, Oily. I need to get myself some lion's mane. I keep meaning to do that. I have not done it yet. I'm not sure that we could find it growing out here. I would think out here, though, where we're at, you could find just about any mushroom or fungus. We get all kinds out here. Chanterelle is the big one, and chicken of the woods, and those are the edible, ones out here that grow that are quite popular. I don't think I've tried chicken of the woods. Chicken of the woods, I believe, is the one that grows on the side of the tree, and they get really big. And then the chanterelles, they're pretty good. And we never got out and collected any this last fall. I was so irritated with myself. I forget because we're so busy, and we're picking blackberries and doing all that kind of stuff, and then the chanterelles, they come and they go and they're gone, and if you miss them, you miss them. But my son sometimes gets out there, my oldest, and picks a bunch and shares with us, so that's pretty cool when he does that. So anyway, we got a couple more minutes, I think, but since there's probably a lag, I never know exactly what it is. I think it changes from time to time. And if anyone's new to YouTube chats, know that there's always going to be a lag of some sort between when between the video and when you see it. I'm not wording that right, but hopefully you know what I mean. I'm expecting everybody's going to get some buffering. That's just the nature of my show. If you're getting a lot of buffering and you're the only one, you may need to try to refresh, or it might be both ends. Shandy Glams, hello. Good to see you. And by the way, hello to Josh and Mrs. Fractal and Tessie. I don't think I said hello to you yet, so hello. And Maniac Grammy. And why are these people driving back and forth? I get a little weirded out. I'm that weird crazy lady that if anybody suspicious, even looks somewhat suspicious, that walks by or drives by slowly, I gotta look. But sometimes, you know what? This pen has soy wax on it that smells really good from one of my soy candles. I don't know how it got on there. I'm like, what is this? It's that yummy smelling soy wax. So one of the only soy products I use is a soy wax. And there's a lady locally that makes these wonderful soy candles. They smell so good. And every now and then I'll buy them from her, mostly for the sake of supporting her and her little side business. But I love her candles, and they burn for a really long time, and they come in these great little mason type jars that are they're a half pint, but they're kind of a square shape. Let me show you what they look like real quick. In fact, I think this is the candle that is burning. Yeah, this is it. So that's where I get those cool regular mouth rustic lids that you see. I get them from her candles. So I buy her candles, then I save the jars. I can use these as glasses or whatever I want. And then these lids I use for anytime I'm storing any of my cool stuff that's going to be out visible, like my herbs and, my tea blends and stuff like that. So I love those lids. So, and what does she call her? I forget what she calls the name of her. It's Rusty something. I don't think it's rain. It's not rain country. It might be rust country. I don't know. So, you know, the rain, the rust. There's a lot of places around here are called rain something or rust something. Like our local nursery is called Rusty Gate. And with that in mind, so excited. We went there the other day and they are now carrying Baker Creek seed, which was so cool. I had to buy some just because I wanted to show them that I support the fact, and I'm really happy that they're carrying Baker Creek seed there now. So cool. And yeah. So let's see. I saw Palmetto and Grizz down south, Housewife. Who else came in new that I might have missed? I want to say hi to, and then we'll get started. And please, people, if I miss you and I don't say hi to you, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. It is actually time to officially get started. Past time. And Faith Abounds at Melody Acres. Hello. Okay, so let me get to, I've got my little keyboard here in case I need it, but I don't think I'm going to need it right away. See, I feel like I've hit the... You know, down south, I have days like that. It's like yesterday I managed to pop into a few, even as busy as I was. Every now and then, part of it was because I was so tired anyway. I was trying to do a lot of stuff just kind of sitting. I like to sit on the floor. I'm kind of crazy that way. And then I'll have the computer, you know, the laptop open next to me as I'm sitting on the floor working on projects. So I was having one of those days because I was so exhausted. Hi, B lady. That I was just sitting on the floor cutting out fabrics and things like that and listening. And so it's like, oh, I managed to pop into a few live shows and say hi and throw in a few words as I could. So anyway, and Oily, thank you again for being in here, for posting links and all that, or all this stuff. She's got her cheat sheet handy, so I appreciate that very, very much. Hi, Kathy. Hey, I just friended you on Facebook. I think you're the same Kathy. Okay, so let me go over some rules. I know Oily's already posted a few, but especially if you're new coming in here, we want to make sure we keep this very family friendly. No uses of expletives. I don't even like to see the abbreviated versions. Try to keep it clean. I have children that come in here sometimes. They're just people like me that would prefer to avoid any, you know, foul talk. You know, I'm pretty square, and I'm not going to apologize for being square. I do want everybody to feel comfortable here, though. So, and you know, whether you like to talk that way or not, I think everybody can feel comfortable here and get along. And that's my big thing lately, is just wanting to see everybody, you know, in the YouTube community, whether they be homesteaders or not, whatever. Let's be able to come into chats, enjoy each other's company, and just get along. You know, we don't have to like everybody's channels, we don't have to like everybody's content, but we can still get along. And yeah, it's cool, right? Okay, and so what else? There was something else. Oh yeah, and then the all caps. If you have some sorry, if you have questions specifically for me, please ask in all caps so I see it. I can't guarantee I'll always see it though, because once I get going, once I get on a roll, hi JM, and Farm Alarm, thank you so much for coming in. Farm Alarm, I just saw you on Doug and Stacy, very cool. Yeah, I get on a roll and I can't always stop and read the chat, so you know, I get pretty fired up about topics. That's why, even though it's chilly today and last week, I learned I don't start a fire in the mornings on the day I'm doing a live show, because I get fired up enough, and by the time the show's over, I'm like dying. So, yes, tinctures will get stronger over time. I typically, my general rule of thumb is I like to let them sit for 2 months before I filter them out, but sometimes I forget about them if I don't need them right away, and they'll sit for a very long time, several months, and I figure it's not hurting anything. So, but even once they're filtered out, they're going to last indefinitely if they're made from alcohol. I do, since we're into the time, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the tinctures and stuff, and then I'll get on to the pansies. I have come back to even though I like the idea a lot of being able to use my own homemade vinegar to make tinctures, and I have had success with like the pain remedy one. It's worked really well. I just take more of it. Uh, I made that using the homemade vinegars and then my homegrown feverfew and catnip. That is my pain remedy. I'm going to experiment with some other herbs that have analgesic properties to them as well, and see if I can find more that taste better, because the feverfew is so nasty. The catnip, some people may not like the taste of catnip, but I do, especially this time of year. I think it tastes kind of good. And this time, when the feverfew and catnip are growing well, and if I've got pain, I just go out and eat them fresh. To me, I think they work best that way. But tinctures are supposed to be stronger, and and if they're alcohol based, you really don't need that much of it. So I'm going back to doing my tinctures with either a vodka or a rum base. Everclear is another good one. I've never done that myself, but with certain, I'm thinking your more woody type herbs, I think you're going to need a stronger, if I understand correctly, I think that's where you're going to need the Everclear. Your more tender herbs and stuff, I don't think, and I hope I'm not wrong, I'm just going by what I remember. I think the more tender things, you don't need to have as strong of an alcohol, a solvent to pull it out. I mean, you can even use water. That's where you get infusions. So, yeah, making your own moonshine or whatever would be great for making tinctures. Me, I don't drink, so I used to make wine on a regular basis, honey wine or mead, and I always used fruit in it as well. But I don't do it anymore. I actually still have a bunch stored up in bottles that's aging probably really nicely. I've got raspberry and all kinds, but they're just there. I figure I can use those to make tinctures too. So I just keep forgetting they're there. I made pineapple, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. I made a triple berry. I made peach. I made orange. Orange spice was a really good one. Spiced rum and 1 vanilla bean half. Smells awesome. Yeah. Oh, good, tea. Cool. Very cool. Okay, I thought, do you need a distiller to make tinctures? Only if you're making your own alcohol to make the tinctures with. So that's what you need the distiller for. But if you can just purchase your alcohol, your vodka, your rum, your whatever it is you want to use. It's got to be at least 80 proof is what you want, at least. And you just need that and your herbs. That's all you need. If you saw my vanilla video, by the way, I did do an update. Yeah, I did do an update where I tried a combination of food grade glycerin, non-GMO, and the spiced rum. Oh my goodness, that makes a delicious vanilla extract. So spiced rum, half food grade glycerin, and then some about, for maybe an 8-ounce bottle, about 4 or 5 vanilla bean halves, or 3 full vanilla beans, and then I cut them in half and split them down the middle. So that made the best tasting vanilla extract so far, but that's being set aside because I still have all the vodka based vanilla extract I have to use up. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, really good. So I recommend giving it a try. I don't have it posted below, but if I remember later I'll try to remember to add the glycerin that I buy. It is a non-GMO. It is Essential Depot brand, and it's a non-GMO food grade glycerin. And you can get the best price that I found is on Amazon. You buy the 2-gallon pack, and that was the best price. Even with shipping, it was the best price. But look around. I'm sure you can find some. Now Foods has a good food grade glycerin as well. I really like Now Foods for a lot of things. Even the few supplements that we will buy and take, I typically get Now Foods. Okay, so to make my own vanilla. Yeah, it's so easy, oily, and it's so good, and you can just have tons and tons. I actually have a 1 liter bottle of that I made a while back of the vanilla extract. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Part of the reason I stutter a lot is I have so many thoughts going through my head at once, and they're all trying to come out at the same time. And or I stop and pause because I'm trying to go, okay, don't rabbit trail, stay on topic. I have this video, I have this craft chat video I've tried to shoot 3 times. I tried it again yesterday. I need to watch it and listen to it and see if it's going to be a keeper. I've tossed the other 2. And I'm hoping this one is a keeper because I keep rabbit trailing. It's really, especially certain topics have so many crossovers that it's really hard to stay on the main topic. So the main topic, so when it does finally come out, is off-grid, excuse me, is off-grid right for you? That is what it's about. So I'm sure if you think about it, you can see how it's easy for me to rabbit trail on that one. Grizz, we're going to refrain from that, okay? I don't have a problem personally with that humor, but for the sake of certain people in here that like to come in here and enjoy the show, that are very sensitive to that, I want to be respectful of them. Okay, Grizz? Thanks, bud. Okay. Again, Grizz, love you and really like having you in here, but let's just be respectful of those people that we know that are sensitive to that kind of talk. That's all. So, okay, Collingwood Acre, I just noticed you were in here. I don't know if, okay, it sounds like you just came in. Used vodka with this one. Yeah, I like to keep several batches going at a time, so I have a whole bunch of little 8-ounce bottles. Again, yeah. Oh, and I keep saying off-grid. On this particular one, it's more not focused so much on the water end of things, but on the and the other sides, because off-grid encompasses a whole bunch of things, really. I'm talking more in this chat that I'm trying to do more about the electricity side of things. And I really should save it for the chat when I finally get it out, but I want to say this, because this is the main point, is you have to find what is right for you. We're all going to have different needs. We're all going to be in different stages of development. Being completely off-grid may not be right for you. Being completely without electricity, maybe having some electricity, maybe, maybe you need complete public power. Right now where we're at, for those of you who are new to our channel, we are about, it depends on the time of the year. We're getting into that time of the year where it comes to electricity, we could be pretty much 100% free of the PUD power, the public power. But through the winter, we're probably more dependent on the public power than we are on our own solar and stuff. I don't know. It might be about 50-50 in the winter time. It's hard to say. We have an electric hot water heater, but I do a lot of heating of water on the wood stove as well. The water heater is more for the showers, though we've done off-grid showers and experimented with that as well. So we know how to do things. If we have absolutely no power, we still have ways of getting cleaned up with warm water and all that kind of stuff. So we can handle going completely without power if we need to, but right now we're making the best of both worlds. That's where we're at. In fact, the other day, because we're just now getting to that point that pretty much everything is switching over to solar power. The power went out. Well, my youngest son, lives on the property in a camp trailer that he bought, and he's connected to the public power through us. So he has no solar power out there. He has nothing. So other than the Wi-Fi, what he could pick up on Wi-Fi on his battery operated stuff. So the only way I ever find out when the power goes out is because he comes in and is like, is power out? Is it? I don't know. And then I have to go look at something like the range that has a clock on it, and I see no clock and say, oh, I guess it is. I tell you, it's really nice not having to be dependent on it. So anyway, that's not the topic I was supposed to talk about today. And I will get more on that when you see my craft time chat. Hopefully this one that I'm going to try to edit today, I won't, I'll look at it and go, okay, that's not too bad. I'll keep it. I'll still have to edit a lot because it's like 32 minutes and I try to get them down to 20. So, but sometimes that's me getting up and walking out and going and letting the dogs out and coming back. So I have to cut that part out. They're good at interrupting, but they're behaving right now. They're sleeping. So yay. Okay. Let's talk about pansies. First I need to clarify that there are different varieties of pansies. I'm sure you know that, but the most medicinal ones are going to be your wild pansy, also known as heart ease, also known as Johnny jump ups. Now I have both the cultivated ones, which are usually the bigger ones, the ones that come in the more solid type colors. I have those, and I also have Johnny jump ups, though I haven't seen my Johnny jump ups come up yet. We're having such a late spring, I tell you. I'm hoping they'll be popping out of the ground soon. So if you're looking at growing pansies for their medicinal benefits in particular, I suggest trying to go with as much of the wild pansy, the Johnny jump up kind, as possible. But I like those big pretty ones too, and they are all still edible. I use them all in my salads. I use them all in the vinegar that I make for my hair and my shampoos. And Luna, you're fine. I might have to go let the dogs out here. They see the sun come out and they're like, I want to go outside. And then Luna likes to go in our bedroom and get under the bed for some weird reason. She's just been crazy that way. So what I did gather up some information, and unfortunately, I'm sorry people, I forgot to write down the web pages that I got some of the information from, but I also have some in this book here. So if you're looking it up, what I found is if you're looking it up online to try to find the medicinal benefits, you're best to look up, don't look up just pansy. You won't be able to find much. Look up wild pansy or the viola tricolor L. That's where you're going to find most of your information. So that gets me to the point of, let's see, let me give you the names. I wrote them down. Okay, well, I already said the heart ease. And here in this book, it's called Heart Ease Herb. Okay, so and again, you can find the links to these books. There's 2 volumes in this set, and you really need to have both. You can find the links in the description box. So, okay, sorry, let me get to my other notes here. All right. So the properties of your wild pansy are anodyne, demulcent, diaphoretic, diuretic, expectorant, laxative, and vulnerary. I have a hard time saying that word, so I hope I said it right. Let me go let the dogs out. I'll be right back. Puppies. Okay, so it's good to understand what your properties are. And honestly, I'm still trying to learn them all because there's so many and they're crazy names that we're not used to. What is the white pansy is good for allergy? I'm not sure. I didn't know they're specific. I think pansies, and well, I did read, I think in here in the book that there was one pansy that was more specific to certain things. I think it was a bluish purple or something like that. But let's see, this is small print. Let me go over a few things. So demulcent means it's going to be, let's see if I remember correctly, soothing to the mucous membrane. So that, your marshmallow falls under that too. Marshmallow is very soothing to the mucous membrane. Diaphoretic is anything that's going to make you sweat. So what that tells you, if it's diaphoretic and it's going to make you sweat, it's going to make you perspire heavily, then it's going to flush the toxins out of your system. So that's really important to have things that will flush out those toxins. So, and if anybody understands all these properties and I'm saying one of these wrong, please let me know, because sometimes I get them mixed up. And then diuretic, most of us are familiar with that, makes you urinate a lot to help flush the toxins out that way. A jam, look at Johnny jump ups. I just buy them all. I love pansies anyway and grow them everywhere because they add so much color. They draw in the bees and they draw in the hummingbirds. And darn it, the dogs. Um, so yeah, but the Johnny jump ups, those are the smaller ones. They usually have longer, more spindly stems on them, and they're just a smaller flower. They're called Johnny jump ups because they're the ones that come up, usually come up first in the spring. Though my other ones, my bigger ones, are coming up. While my Johnny jump ups, I still have not seen hide nor hair of them. Of course, they don't have hair, but you know what I mean. But I've always bought ours at our local store. So that's been, they always have a great variety of them. And I'm kind of addicted to purchasing them there. And I want to get them just everywhere. And the more I get to where they can just keep self-seeding and coming back. Because a lot of people don't know this, but most of them are perennials. I think all of them are perennials. It's just that people grow them mostly as a annual because they get kind of leggy. Well, you just prune them back. I just keep cutting them back. Typically, I just use the flower, but the leaves are edible too. Now, I read two different things. I read that all aerial parts of the pansy are edible. And then somewhere else I read that the roots, the stems, and the flowers are edible. But hey Deep South, good to see you in here. But that kind of confused me because I know the leaves are edible. I've eaten them before, and they have a mild wintergreen taste. Oh, and by the way, the pansy petal is a very bland flavor, but if you eat the whole blossom, so you're getting where that nectar is, you're going to get that nice mild wintergreen flavor out. It's so good. So, and pansy tea is not only incredibly medicinal, it's very tasty. In the summertime, I like to make a peppermint pansy tea, and another favorite is marshmallow peppermint tea. And for some reason, even with the peppermint, with the marshmallow leaves and the peppermint in there, and then maybe just a splash of homemade vanilla, it really tastes like a marshmallow. It's great tea. I love it. Grr. Quit, you. Spray bottle time. Quit. Okay. Now she's over here begging for mercy. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and just read this stuff because I'm going to keep getting sidetracked. So, no, down. You know better than that. Okay, so I just highlighted a few things I wanted to read from each thing. So, pansy is used to treat skin ailments such as psoriasis, acne, eczema, itching, impetigo, and cradle cap. Drinking pansy tea or using it as a poultice on the skin is effective as well. The Chinese have long since used pansies to treat and soften tumors in the body that could result in cancers of the lungs, stomach, and the breast. Okay, and there's a lot more here. These are from 3 different web pages. And I just kind of wanted to highlight a few key things that I came across here. Wild pansy has been used for centuries as one of the most potent herbal remedies for epilepsy. Now remember, wild pansy is the smaller one with the spindly thing, the Johnny jump ups. So if you go to the store and you're looking at pansies, look for the small ones, and it usually will say Johnny jump ups on it, or viola tricolor is another one you want to look for, or even heart ease. Though I don't think they'll label it as that in the nurseries. They might. I've just never seen it labeled as heart ease, which tells you right there it was called heart ease because it's also good for the cardiovascular system. And then another quick little paragraph I want to read here is, an infusion is useful for skin eruptions, diarrhea, and urinary problems, fevers, mild sedative, blood purifier, asthma, heart palpitations, so there's the heart thing there, jaundice, gout, rheumatic problems, arterial sclerosis, high blood pressure, dry throat, itch, cough, blemished skin, psoriasis, acne, I can't even say that word. It's one of those things I have to look away from. But anyway, the scaly skin. Cradle cap in infants and children, convulsions, epilepsy, sores, ulcers, varicose veins, prevents colds, bedwetting, retinal hemorrhages, tendency to bruise easily, hives, diaper rash, nervous complaints, hysteria, chest congestion, lung inflammation, and cramps in children. My goodness. That's a long list. Okay, so going back to the properties, and I saw something here where it said nervous conditions. Well, that's going to be covered under your the anodyne. Anodyne is something that it can be a relieve pain by calming the nerves, relaxing the nerves. I think I'm saying that right, people. I'm still learning this stuff as I go. I am not definitely far from being the end all in knowledge on this stuff. I'm just sharing with you this stuff as I learn it. And then one thing I like about doing these shows is it forces me to have to get in there and learn more of the stuff I've been meaning to learn so I can pass it on to you. But please, 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 please look the information up for yourself. There's a lot out there to be found. And I'm just trying to give you a kick in the rear to and get you in the right direction or know where to look, because there's so much to learn about all this stuff. So, okay, and then again, I already said the demulcent is anything that is soothing. I don't think I read all these. The diaphoretic, the sweating, diuretic, makes you pee. Expectorant is good, for the cough. Laxative, you all know that. And vulnerary means it's anything that's good for the skin, which typically is good for the skin, is good for the hair. So, this is why when I make my hair wash vinegars, I like to use, sometimes I use nasturtiums. I like to use, mostly in the vinegar, rose petals, more because it adds just a beautiful color. But the lavender, because it helps stimulate hair growth. And then the pansies, because it's just really good and soothing to the skin. And yeah, so that's what I make my hair wash vinegar out of. And I will be doing a video as soon as all these flowers are in bloom of me making my hair wash vinegar. I still have some left from last year. It's actually, I made so much last year, it's lasted me quite a long time. But, and that's been over 6 months and it's not gone bad. It's just occasionally I'll get one that will go bad. I'm not sure why. And that's only been my fruit ones, not my floral ones. They've never gone bad. So weird. Anyway. Right, Palmetto Paratrooper. Natural remedies have a list of things they cure as long as the pharmaceutical side effect list. Okay, here's a funny story. A little bit of a rabbit trail, but it goes right back into all this, is that a few years ago when I first started growing horseradish, and so I was learning about the the properties, the health properties of horseradish. And so back then, I was always trying to share information on Facebook. And what I found about Facebook is that the people that follow you on Facebook, like family, friends and stuff, and local people, you'll get the few that really want that information, and the rest that just rather you just shut up, or they want to argue with you or something. But I still, when I find something so awesome that is so cheap that can help with so many health issues, I have to get the information out there, because I have this strong desire to see everybody free from pharmaceuticals, or as free as can be from pharmaceuticals, because it's the pharmaceuticals, let's see, the medical community in general, I think it's in general, I don't think it's just pharmaceuticals, but they make up the biggest part of it, kills 200,000 Americans per year. Now, that's a pretty high death rate, yet people freak out about one person dying from some kind of, flu virus, or somebody that gets a bad case of the measles. These things that are far more rare of being serious, people will freak out and then go take more pharmaceuticals that are actually the things that are actually killing them to combat the things that aren't killing them. It doesn't make any sense. So, I'm sorry, there I go on my soapbox, excuse me, but I get fired up because I honestly, truly care about people, and I want to see people free from a broken system that is killing them. It's not helping them. I have a family member who I've watched the health deteriorate more and more as more pharmaceuticals are thrown at them, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And it bothers me. It really bothers me. But so I do my best to get the information out there. So anyway, a lot of people on Facebook don't want the information I have to give. So I keep trying. Going to YouTube, I found it's been great. It's been great to actually have people that want the information I have to offer. So anyway, I was posting daily information on different herbs, and I put out the one about horseradish. And what I was putting was this long list of health benefits these things have. Well, a person came in, a person who was at the time studying to be a nurse, so take it as it is, came in and said, "Be careful with horseradish. It is toxic in high quantities. Raw horseradish is toxic in high quantities." And I'm like, okay, so first of all, who sits around and eats large quantities? Oh, Teresa, thank you so much. Thank you so much again. Always so supportive. I appreciate that. Yes, and we do email back and forth. She, I really appreciate her interaction, and, yeah. Okay, anyways. Horseradish is so good for you, but seriously, I love horseradish, but who sits and just eats large quantities of raw horseradish? Regardless. So, she threw that information out there, and I said, okay. And I thought, well, I'll do a little more research. And I looked specifically for horseradish toxic. It took me, I don't know how many pages I had to go through. I finally had to go to the certain pharmaceutical supporting web pages to find anything about it being toxic, and it was way down at the bottom, and it still listed all the great health benefits of horseradish. So I'm like, okay, so we will take a drug that has a list this long of side effects that might cure this, might, not, and it doesn't cure, it just covers up symptoms, by the way, but in the meantime, this long list of side effects. Or I can take this herb or root that has this long list of benefits and this small possibility of being toxic if ingested in large quantities. I'm sorry, but I got a horseradish root out of the ground last year about this big. I didn't sit there and gnaw on that whole thing in one sitting. That could possibly be toxic. I can't imagine myself doing that because one little bite just clears out the sinuses. So, and that's good enough. So, yeah, too much water can kill you, right, Gene O'Connor? So, should we ban water? Because, of course not, because we have to have water to survive. But there's a name for that. What is it called? If you have too much water. And it can kill you because you're flushing out all your electrolytes, everything you need. Too much water can kill you, especially if you're drowning. Okay? But even drinking too much water can be deadly. And who does that? Yeah. You know when you've had enough water. Okay, so I'm just trying to catch up on some of what's been said. I know there's a lot of great comments flying by, and I'm on my roll. I'm on my soapbox, people, so I'm having a hard time keeping up. Okay, so remember, people, all caps are for me, okay? And I'm not trying to be rude, but if I see something in all caps, I'm going to try to focus directly on that because I'm going to assume it's for me. It's a question or comment that I need to read. So, hi, Ellen. Glad you made it. All right, so there was more about pansies I wanted to talk about. So good for skin. So I like to use, when I make my homemade soaps, pansies are one of the things I like. I just add the dried pansies right into the soap. I like to add to my to some of my different soaps. Every single bar soap that I make, I add, that I make to sell in particular, I add some herb from my garden that I know is good for the skin, like marshmallow. I just made, I made 4 batches of soap this week, and I made rose marshmallow. It doesn't mean it smells like marshmallow, it means it has marshmallow in it. It does have a slight rose smell. It's got rose petals from my garden plus rose essential oil. Obviously, it's not 100% pure rose essential oil. It's, what do you call it? Absolute is the word I'm looking for. And then, let's see, what else did I make? Oh, well, I use dandelions a lot. I use calendula a lot. I just made one with pansy in it, and I don't remember what it was. I just made one today, and I already forgot what it was. Oh, today it was It was lemon, sage, and calendula. So the sage and the calendula in there are from my garden, and then organic lemon peel dried and put in there as well. So it's not really, my soaps aren't really so much all about the scent, because I don't use anything artificial in my soaps. No artificial colorings, no artificial scents. If I use any kind of scent, it's the essential oil, and even then I'm not going to put a ton in. So you're just going to get a nice light scent to it, but it's mostly about the and what they do for your skin. And even some of those other stuff, like I want to do some with some blackberries. I've done some with strawberries before, and the strawberry seeds kind of make this nice little scrubby appeal to the soap. It's kind of nice. But I also make my own homemade shampoo, and in the shampoo, okay, I saw that I popped offline and I'm back on, so if you get a jitter, that's what's going on. So my homemade shampoo consists of, I'll just list off some of the herbs because I won't remember them all. Nasturtium flowers, very good for the hair. Lavender flowers, marshmallow, pansies, just to name a few of the things that I use in my herbal shampoo. So, okay. Okay, so hi Jason. I don't know if there's anyone I haven't said hi to that I missed. And if there is, I apologize. I'm not trying to ignore anyone. It might be me, Sodbuster. Looks like a lot more people are getting buffering. And yeah, I know. I saw that I went off and on again. Right now it's showing that I'm green. So, getting about every other sentence. All right, so hopefully people, right now I'm showing green. Hopefully if you're missing a lot, typically the playback is going to be a little bit smoother. The picture not, especially because I wave my arms around and that tends to, you know, that Italian hands going here. And that tends to make the picture freeze up, but buffering constantly now. Okay, that's weird because it's showing my stream is showing the stream resumed. It's showing all green. So let me know. Yeah, that bee lady, probably right. It's probably I'm pausing a little bit here. I want to see if the buffering is going to mellow out because my stream health is showing as green. So let me know if it's getting better yet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Usually when I get bad buffering, it's when my stream is red. Okay, now it's yellow. But I am direct plugged. Our weather's good, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll keep talking, and hopefully at least the playback will be smoother. Usually it is. So at any rate, are there any questions? Oh, I was going to talk more about something that I mentioned earlier before the show started. Buffering bad on my end. Mostly just buffering. Okay, is it off and on? I mean, are you guys able to hear me okay? This is what I need to know. I want to make sure, should I keep going? Because I was going to try to go for another 20 minutes. Okay, storm's rolling through. Okay. My internet is really bad. Okay, well, I'll just keep... Screen gone black. Okay, someone says the screen's gone black. Please let us know if it's just Maniac Grammy or if it's anyone else. Because... Okay. Sorry, Jean and everyone else. Sounds to me from what people are saying, this is the worst show. Oh, okay. Thanks, Palmetto Paratrooper. Maybe you guys all just need to refresh because it did go offline and then came back. So maybe you just need to refresh. Okay. Of course, if you can't hear me, let's see. Try. Oops. Sorry, people that are watching this later or can see me. I gotta do this here. Try refreshing. Okay, sorry. Again, I hate having lags, but Let me say it one more time. Okay, and then I'm going to keep talking because I know this is still going to be at least recording, and you guys can come back and see the playback on Saturday. And it is a bit better. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep going for the next 20 minutes for whoever hangs with me. If nothing else, I'll still have this to post later. Now, for those of you who can hear me fine, are there any comments or questions related to either the pansies, the tinctures, or the vinegar that you would like me to cover? Back to buffering constantly. I am so sorry, people. Nothing I can do. Not unless I shut down and restart. What's crazy is I'm having decent stream health. Right now it's sunny out. Usually if I have a lot of problems, it's sometimes it's more the weather, and nobody else is home using the internet, so it's just me. No go, Heidi. No go as in no, keep going, or no go for you because it's not working, Jean. I know Troll Forge has a lot of... Oh, and Troll, if I'm uploading a video, there's absolutely no way I can even watch any live show. It's just, that's why I do my uploads early in the morning before anyone else is online and before I'm doing anything else. So I get up bright and early, upload my videos, and do it that way. What I'm trying to do now is get to where I'm ahead. I have at least one video ahead uploaded so that if anything happens, I can just, you know, I should be able to at least just publish it if needed. I just have, because I have one all ready to go for tomorrow already. And that's the one on the stinging nettle, which actually I recorded that video back before the last two that you saw. That was the one I did first. So, hi Erica. So apparently we're still having a lot of issues, so thanks for hanging with me. I'm going to go ahead and keep talking or take questions, and if I don't have any more questions, I may just get off here if the buffering is just way too bad for you guys. But again, I'm pretty sure that the replay is going to be fine. So please come back on Saturday, people who are having to leave because the buffering's not working. Chicken update. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. We don't have chickens yet. The chicken coop isn't anywhere near finished. But, and there's reasons why. Mr. Rain has to build the chicken coop. And our last several weekends have been filled up dealing with some other issues that have come up. I don't know if this weekend might be better. I pray that it is. Just some hard, heavy issues, the same things that we've been asking for prayer about. And so that's pretty much where our weekends have been. And plus the weather on most of these days has just not been conducive for getting out there and working on the chicken coop. I know that he's going back to the idea of pouring the concrete. He's just really liking the idea of having the concrete in there. So it will be easy cleanup. Even if I still decide to do a deep litter method, he still wants some concrete down. And so until that gets done, there's really not much more we can do. And it's kind of, by the way things are going, I'm fearing that we may not be able to even get chickens this year because there's just so many other, this happens every year. There's always something, some wrench that gets thrown in the works. And sometimes I wonder, Lord, are we even meant to have chickens? Is this just a pipe dream? Because every year it's the same thing. You know, something happens that puts it on hold yet again. Last year it was the needing to replace the whole entire fence, lift up the playhouse, because the chickens are supposed to go under the playhouse, and put the posts in, and you know, and that was a big job. So, and thank you, JM. So we'll see. I'm hoping that Mr. Rain and I might even be able to do a live show together soon, and he can explain. He did make a big purchase on a lot of materials for this chicken coop, though. So we're gonna have a chicken coop, or it's going to be a fancy playhouse downstairs, because he bought windows, like nice windows. I'm telling you, he's he's going all out on this. And that's the other thing you have to understand about Mr. Rain is that he does not take anything lightly. He does not just throw anything together out of, well, sometimes he does, like the rinky-dink little trellis he made that one year. That was just supposed to be a quick temporary thing. But he anyway, he puts a lot of thought and planning into anything like this, especially something that's going to hold a live animal. We want them to be safe as much as possible. So anyway, again, sorry for all the heavy buffering. Have no idea what the deal is. I do hear the jets flying around out there though. So okay, Grizz. So it's hard to say. It must be coming from my end. Luna, stop that. Sorry. Okay. There was something else I needed to finish up on, and then I'll probably just be done since it's just since the buffering's so bad. I think I said all the things I wanted to say about pansies. Just know pansies, heart ease, Johnny jump ups, viola tricolor. There's a lot of health benefits, plus just the benefits to your garden. All the bright colors, they're beautiful. The hummingbirds at least draws them in. I don't know if they like the pansies as much. I know they love nasturtiums, and they love their very favorite thing I noticed that blooms here are the blueberries. They love the blueberries. When the blueberries are in full bloom, those hummingbirds are like bumblebees all over this. In fact, I think I have bumblebees and hummingbirds all over the blueberries. So, and then when they all are bloomed and it gets to be an actually warm day, you can smell the scent of the blueberries inside the house if the door's open. And you walk out on the deck and it's just this amazing, just like, oh, it's such a wonderful scent. So those blueberries I showed in my last video, we get tons of 6 plants, all in pots, sitting on my deck, and we get more blueberries than we can use. Well, that we can use right away. So I freeze them all, and I'm still trying to go through 2015 blueberries, and I have a big bag of 2016 blueberries. So I just thought of something else. I've got rhubarb that's looking ready to harvest, so I'm going to make some blueberry rhubarb something here pretty soon. So I need to clean out, get the 2015 blueberries used up at least before my 2017 ones come on. I'm going to run out of room for them. So, okay, let me look and see if there was any questions or comments that, so pardon me, people, for the pause. Oh, I just remembered something I wanted to mention. And this, a little scary to mention because I don't want anybody, okay, let me say this. I do put it in my description, but let me say this first. I am not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one. I don't play one. And nothing I say is meant to replace medical counsel. Okay, so now here's the thing that some people might freak out about that I just recently got back into taking. And that is turpentine. This particular turpentine, if I remember, I'll put a link to it below. It is Georgia Pine Gum Spirits. From Diamond G Forest Products. You can find it online. That's where I got this. It is organic. Some people don't realize basically all turpentine is pine essential oil. And this one I think smells really good. So why would I take turpentine? Look it up. I'm gonna tell you the name of someone on YouTube you can find. I can't remember if she actually has a YouTube channel, but if you look up Dr. Jennifer Daniels, let me type this in. You will find interviews with several people with her. So Dr. Jennifer Daniels. She has a very interesting testimony and story. Conventional doctor turned more naturopathic, and eventually had to give up her license because she wasn't going to continue to, prescribe these medications that were killing people and surgical procedures that are killing people. So anyway, she talks a lot about turpentine. She has this whole thing. She did her own research and then used herself as the guinea pig. Now, people used to use turpentine back in the day. Hang on, the dogs? No. You know better than that. For getting rid of parasites in the body. This is an old remedy. Obviously, you have to watch your intake. Okay, sorry. Grizz? Okay, now my thing's not working. I didn't see your comment, Oily. I'm so you're forgiven, but I didn't see it. Okay, thank you, Oily. My thing is freezing up and I can't deal with it. Sorry, Deep South. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope you'll be able to come back and see the live show. Okay. Grizz, you know better than that. All right. Anyway, I know a lot of people are just catching bits and pieces of what I'm saying, but I'm still going because I know there's going to be people coming back and watching the replay, so you hear what I'm saying. So look up Dr. Jennifer Daniels. Just type it into your YouTube search, and you will find some interviews with her where she talks about the use of turpentine for killing parasites, candida overgrowth, and all that, and how to use it. Obviously, you're going to want to be very careful, but it's not as deadly as they try to make you believe. It's less deadly than the pharmaceuticals that they're trying to push on you. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here because the buffering is so bad, and hopefully the replay will be good. And if not, I will try to talk about some of this more again next week, assuming I'm going to be on next week. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the turpentine and methods of taking it. But please look it up. Just look it up. Don't just take my word for it, because it can be scary when you've been, you know, all the fear tactics to scare you away from something that's been a long time well-known natural remedy for things that suddenly, bam, they had to scare everybody into getting away from. So anyway, I think that's it. I think I'll stop there. And it's been more than an hour actually since I came on early. And please come back and see it looks like I'm online. Oh my gosh, things are going crazy. Please come back and watch the replay on Saturday morning is when I will publish it. Thanks for dropping in, everyone. And again, I'm really sorry for the issues. And love you guys. Take care and God bless.